You can train at 1/10 of the volume that you're normally training at, and you will maintain muscle mass. It's the same thing with a TV. To keep TV working, you just give it a bit of signal now and again. If you leave it for long periods of time, it's likely not to start. You're not going in there to look flashy and look pretty. Most of the people doing it don't care about your physique. You're probably the only person that does, to be totally honest with you. And it's so hard to balance those two things together. You have to actually eat back those calories when you're doing endurance training. If you want to optimize your endurance training, people get that wrong. People don't eat back their calories when going for their runs, when doing their strength training. If you are trying to optimize performance, you are not in a deficit. No one who ever did well in a run or a race ate in a deficit for performance.
Welcome to the PerformWell Podcast, the podcast for you if you're looking for performance and wellness strategies from top experts in the field, such as myself and Dan King. Please do like, subscribe, and follow us if you're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or any other platform, because it really does help us get the message out and also help more people like yourself. So, there are people out there, for those listening, that think that you can't run and do strength training at the same time. They think that if you run too much, you'll lose strength gains, you'll lose muscle mass. If you train not too much, your running's going to get affected. And you might be right.
There is a sweet spot with it, and people need to understand it.
But we're going to talk about that.
Yeah, that was a very long pause. I wasn't prepared for that pause. It's interesting. So to put some context to this and some nuance, Nick, you're training for a marathon at the minute, your first marathon. I'm training for my first Olympic distance triathlon at the minute. And a lot of people would turn around and say, I was like, how the hell do you, one, fit in all the training? And secondly, not change your composition, lose the muscle you've been working hard to retain, and really put into context how kind of much planning it takes for these kind of things. Because I don't know about you, I have to plan my weeks in advance to know when I'm doing my training throughout the week. Where's it going to fit? So
to some degree, I think you're more you like follow the science more than I do. But like you got to think, my way of doing things stemmed from my military career, and we weren't taught about this shit back then. This is before I went to uni and learned about this stuff. So for me, I learned to push myself even when I wasn't properly, didn't have proper nutrition, didn't have any sleep. And so for me, it was about just the mental edge of doing things. So for me, I've always just sucked it up, even if my nutrition's not the best or I've not got the best strategy for sleep. And there's actually a guy recently, you know, Magnus, the climber? Yeah. There's a YouTube video of him going from not doing any cycling or a very small amount of cycling max, not really swimming, not running that much, I think a 5K every week or whatever it is. In 2 weeks, he went from that to completing the Ironman Norseman, one of the hardest Ironmans in the world. It's not actually an Ironman, but it's the Ironman distance, and came 69th.
Really?
2 weeks. And that was genetically fit guy.
Yeah.
So there is that advantage, but mentally he is sick in the head. He is sick in the head. There's a mental aspect to this. So you can overcome those two elements of adding running and strength training together just by having a mental element of pushing the run hard and pushing the strength training hard. And if you've got that mentality to be able to do that and you recover well and you've got good genetics, that is a possibility.
When we're planning for this kind of stuff, and I'll kind of step in with the sciencey side a little bit. When you're planning for this thing, it's not about going all out for 6 to 8 weeks, by the way. It is, honestly, it's like 3 weeks on, 1 week recovery. Like active, you're still training, and don't get me wrong, some of the sessions are still going to be really hard, but it's active recovery to allow your cardiovascular system to adapt to it, because it's the same with muscles. However, the cardiovascular system works slightly differently to muscle adaptation. And you don't, can I be honest, so many people get it wrong and think you have to do bodybuilding training to maintain composition. It is isolation work is gonna negatively impact your training.
It depends if you're a bodybuilder first. Like if you're a bodybuilder and you go and you start running and you start being competitive running, there is an element of running will affect your training if you lower volume. It's just the way it is. I would say that your goals are conflicted. If you're trying to be competitive in running and be a bodybuilder, you should strive to set periods where you're focusing on running more, and there's periods where you're focusing on strength training more. And when you're doing the running, you're probably lowering the volume and focusing on intensity in the gym, because you will maintain a good physique by doing that. You'll just lose some of the volume of the muscle. You will look a little bit smaller, but you'll also still retain the shape.
Well, one thing that people have to bear in mind is you can train at 1/10 of the volume that you're normally training at, and you will maintain muscle mass. There's plenty of studies out there. I can link them to you if you want to know about them, but they're really, really good studies and clinical studies that are basically saying you don't have to work your ass off to maintain muscle mass, because all you need to do, it's the same thing with a TV. To keep TV working, you just give it a bit of signal now and again. If you leave it for long periods of time, it's likely not to start again.
I mean, look, we train. You train 3 days a week, strength training?
Strength training I do like once at the minute because I'm in peak at the minute.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, that's obviously an extreme amount. You can obviously get away with once. I train 3 days a week strength training. That is always the foundation. I don't go more than that or less than that. Like, I can go 2. I've noticed 2's really beneficial still. But I've seen so much evidence, so many people getting strong and maintaining their physique with 3 days a week. And that leaves you with 4 days off. You can rest, or you can go running 1 or 2 days. And if you want to have an extra bit of recovery as well, you could do a run on a gym day, and then you still have those 4 days off. So recovery is so important for this. And like, as you know, long distance stuff is taxing on the nervous system, it's taxing on the metabolic system, it's taxing on a lot of things. The last thing you can do is do super high volume weight training in amongst all that.
Which you don't need to do. Like, you don't need to do it. And like, I could give context to like me training for triathlon. So I said about peaking there. Normally what you do in the kind of last 3 to 4 weeks leading up to a triathlon is you start to peak. So these are like my hardest weeks of training to kind of test where I am with things. And that's the reason my gym volumes come down, because I've got a factor in it. I'm doing some kind of not best efforts, but like my interval sessions are really hard. Like, my long distance cycles are the distance I'm going to be cycling. My swims are the distance I'm going to be swimming. And I don't want my energy stores to be affected going into those sessions. So pulling back to 1 session a week, and actually that's what people advise from a beginner standpoint. They normally say bring back your training back to once a week to really focus on the cardio aspect. And what you said there about bodybuilding is, if you split your attention, you're always going to be meh at both things. If you're doing a competitive endurance event, even if you're just doing it to do it, you're doing the endurance event. You're not going in there to look flashy and look pretty. Most of the people doing it don't care about your physique. You're probably the only person that does, to be totally honest with you. And it's so hard to balance those two things together. And I've tried it with triathlon clients before, when they're like, I wanted to lose weight. I'm like, the problem is we're trying to fuel you for a session and fuel you well and lose weight at the same time. It is possible.
It is very possible.
It is very possible.
Mate, so I don't track my calories right now, and I'm not saying that everyone has to do this. I said before, I'm genetically blessed in the sense of burning fat. So it's different for me, all right? But I will run a marathon. I'll run 20 miles, I'll run a half marathon, whatever. I will eat as many calories as I possibly can. Like, I'm not thinking about how many. I'm just thinking about filling myself up, because I can feel the need for food. And I'll still lose fat in a week. Like, the amount of calories you burn in cardio is ridiculous. There's longer distances. You're burning a lot of calories. Like, I burn what the app said I burnt 3,000 on the weekend. It might not be the most accurate, but I am 100 kilos. I'm a heavy guy. So potentially it could be true. 3,000 calories from a 20-mile run doesn't sound too bad. Do you know what I mean? So there is that to take into account as well. You can burn fat quite effectively, even whilst performing.
And it's important to have your calories high. You have to actually eat back those calories when you're doing endurance training. If you want to optimize your endurance training, that's one people get that wrong. People don't eat back their calories when going for their runs, when doing their strength training. If you are trying to optimize performance, you are not in a deficit. No one who ever did well in a run or a race ate in a deficit for performance. Apologies for interrupting the episode. We appreciate you probably got really engrossed into what our experts are having to say right now. However, we've just dropped something very exciting. It's a 50-page high-protein recipe guide with so many recipes in there to really help you increase your energy levels, increase your confidence, and also help with those fat loss and muscle gain goals that I know have been so difficult to attain for so long. It's perfect for people that don't want some fancy schmancy recipe with loads of ingredients you've never heard of. These are simple, basic recipes that you can follow to help you hit your goals. Go check out in our description through the link.
And also, if you're overweight going into a endurance race for whatever reason, losing weight can actually help your performance, by the way. It's not like you don't need to be worried about losing a bit of weight and getting a little bit leaner. You're probably more wanting to focus on the refuel a week before your run or race, because that's where you can stock back up. But in the actual training, don't be worried if you're burning fat and losing weight if you're particularly overweight. It will help your performance, because Being 100 kilos, I can tell you now, doesn't help with my running speed. When I was 75 kilo in the military, I was running ridiculous speeds. I was super fit, but I also found it hard to be strong. And this is actually very relatable in the sense that I remember going from the military, realizing I'm still skinny because I was doing military training. There's nothing bodybuilding about it. All right, circuits, body weight, running, all that good stuff. Started getting to the gym, started bodybuilding, started trying to get bigger. Nothing changed for 3 years. And I remember it being 3 years because I got bloody annoyed. It was the end of uni, basically. And I was like, I've started uni, I've ended uni, I look the same. And nothing's changed. And then I decided to get a book. And the book was a no nonsense muscle building. And basically the premise was eat more, train harder, all that good stuff, train more volume, sorry. So I started doing that, gained loads of weight, but you know what went down? My cardio, my running. I got slower. I couldn't keep up the runs. I was trying to. I pushed myself, and every time I switched my focus between the two, I kept losing the other, and it was like this constant yo-yo effect of never really settling into being good at either of them. And so you've got to decide what it is you want, because you can use both for your goal. But you should have a main goal, and the other one should be something that you build along the side. And if that means you want to get bigger, do the running as a slower intensity cardio to help burn fat, potentially improve your health, and you can build speed over time, over a long period of time. But make bodybuilding your main focus. If you want both, then be smart with when you're training. 3 days a week is brilliant. Focus on strength. Don't go too heavy on the volume. Keep progressing over time, and with your runs, don't smash yourself. Like, you should be doing, like, most of your runs should be zone 2, zone 3 max. Like, you should be on a very low heart rate in comparison. You shouldn't feel like you're completely screwed at the end of it. And then one of your runs every week or two is going to be harder, and that's where you push yourself and really build your fitness. And if you do that, you'll be able to do both.
And that is exactly it. And, life is about trade-off, not solutions. You're never going to solve this kind of constant problem that seems to go through people's heads about balancing running and strength training together, because it causes a complex for a lot of people. When it comes to doing stuff like triathlons, much like you said there, you're only really doing one interval session, one long distance, one interval, one long distance. That's it. That is it for all three disciplines, and that's how you cover the ground with it, and eventually just push them on.
Well, I purposely on this particular thing, I wanted to run a marathon in 12 weeks, only doing 2 runs a week. Mm-hmm. Because I've looked at marathon training plans, and it's 4 or 5 sessions a week of running. Mm-hmm. I think it's ridiculous. Like, unless you're trying to be competitive, like, that's a different ballgame. If you're trying to be competitive, it means you might have to focus on more running over the week.
How on earth does a busy person fit this into their schedule then?
Well, two runs a week is easy. Any busy person that doesn't have half an hour for a run once a week and then 45 minutes to an hour once a week doesn't have time for life. Like, what's the point? Like, if you're generally that busy, you can't do 2 1-hour cardio sessions a week. What's the point?
It may mean you have to go at 5 a.m. in the morning. You may need to go for an early run. And it just is that way. Like, for me, for a cycle on Saturday, I'm having to look at it as weather dependent. But I need to get out at 5 a.m. because that's the only time the weather's clear. And I've got to get that done.
Just go in the weather, man.
I've just got to go and do it.
Just go in the rain.
Yes and no. Because I'm going out in the New Forest. I don't trust that.
Just
I don't
go in the rain, man. Me and Rob faced some horrible,
yeah, I know you guys
roads,
did.
Man.
I have a choice at this point in time. But it is like, I always go with a mate too. Here's a good solution. If you find you're lacking motivation for your training phases, go with a mate. We like to train on our own. I like to go out on my own. You like to go out on your own.
Unless it's long cycles.
I think long cycles are good as a group.
Like, anything above 3 to 4 hours is better with someone.
Even 2 hours, mate, is probably quite good going out with people.
Shorter sessions are definitely better alone.
But it's becoming very popular, this whole kind of running and training, and I mean the whole hybrid athlete format, Hyrox, all these things are coming to fruition. I love it because people should have been doing this for years gone by. I should have been doing this for years gone by. I feel physically the fittest. My Garmin said I'm 18 years old in terms of fitness age. 18 years old, my Garmin said I was.
I don't know how it measured that, man.
I don't know how it measured that.
That's measured on the average, though, of the population.
Yeah, of course. And it's measured on... So it says I've got an excellent VO2 max.
They look at the average 18-year-old and they think, you're doing well.
You're like,
do you know what I mean?
For the average 18-year-old. Yeah. That's basically where... And I find it interesting.
That shows the state of the population, unfortunately.
Hey! It's all about that fitness.
I'm not downgrading you, but it said the same shit to me. You know, I said I had the lung capacity of an Olympic athlete when I was 18.
Maybe you did. Garmin just trying to soften
I'm
you
just
up.
6'4", mate. That's all. Like, I've got a bigger lung capacity because I'm 6'4". That is the only reason.
I tell you what, trackers have also made it quite more popular these days, haven't they? In terms of people are loving sharing their data around Strava, Strava run clubs.
Yeah. Lose weight if you're overweight, because you can make your life easier doing this, by the way. And if you're a bodybuilder and you weigh a ton and you're okay with losing some size, then go down to 3 days a week, focus on intensity, and get your running in and become a beast. Become one of us.
Yeah, become one of us.
Yeah.
I tell you what, have we got time for the wheel?
Yeah.
Let's bang the wheel. So today we're going to do a blind ranked tier list for myself and Nick for the ultimate athlete. Okay, this is having people like Serena Williams in there. You've got I put John Cena on there too. So we're going to spin the wheel. I'll get the wheel.
Tell the people, man.
You're
going to find out.
All right. It's going to be top 5.
You're all going to find out, all right? You're going to wait. You're going to wait and be patient. Be patient. If you can't be patient for this, what's the point?
Right. We're doing a top 5. Okay, so we're going to spin it.
We got to find a better solution for where to put this thing.
We need it like on the back.
It's all right when there's 2 of us, but when there's 3, it's a pain.
It doesn't really work, does it? Okay, so we're going to spin the wheel 5 times. The 5 names that come up, you have to blindly rank from 1 to 5. Okay, 1 being the ultimate athlete, 5 being the less ultimate athlete. Okay, we're not going to get them all, but I will crack on with the first person. We're going to do 1 each. Okay, Usain Bolt, the ultimate athlete. Now this takes into account strength, endurance, power. No, you got to do Usain Bolt. You just do one at a time.
Oh, I thought we were doing one. Oh, fuck. Okay.
Yeah. So Usain.
Out of who though?
That's the thing. You're blindly ranking it 1 to 5. So you don't know who the other people are going to come up on this wheel is. So you could put Usain 1. But then
I've got to look at the list then, don't I?
Have a look at the list. So I'll go first because, yeah. So Usain Bolt. I think, look, he's the quickest man on earth based on his record that he set. We're basing it on prime, by the way. All of these people in their primes. Okay? I think power and explosivity. Usain used to run 10Ks, didn't he?
Are we blindly ranking him as a total athlete?
Yeah, as a total athlete. Okay. As the ultimate athlete. So power, strength, endurance.
3.
I'd actually... He's strong, he's powerful, he's got endurance. And I'd put him at 2. I think that's a safe bet, putting him at 2.
We'll find out, won't we?
Yeah.
We'll find out who else we get next. But those that don't know about Usain Bolt, he is a sprinter, but he does regular 10K runs as part of his training.
So his fitness
is
is
not
there.
just a sprinter.
No. We've got 2
and
for him.
footballer.
Yeah, and footballer.
Oh, that could be a 2. That could be a 2.
John Cena, the ultimate athlete.
He should be a 3, really. I might have to put Usain Bolt 2 and put John Cena.
You can't change it once you put them there.
Why?
They're stuck in there now.
John Cena's a 5 then.
Okay, John Cena's a 5. I'll put John Cena as a 5 too. I think physically he looks great.
Plus you can't see him, so is he actually here?
Well, yeah, it's true. Right, ready? Next one. John Johnny Wilkinson.
Ooh, 2.
You put him in at 2?
Possibly a 1, actually. Ooh.
Johnny Wilkinson, the ultimate athlete.
1.
You think so?
Yeah.
You're going to put him in the ultimate... He is the ultimate athlete. So if we get Michael Phelps come up on here, you think he's above Michael Phelps?
Yeah. Michael Phelps is a one-trick pony.
I would put Johnny Wilkinson at 3. One-trick pony?
Yeah, he's a swimmer. That's it. Wilkinson. Okay, so one thing common between military and rugby-based training is that it's very similar. And military are the ultimate hybrid profession, not necessarily sport, but profession. You have to do and be good at fucking everything. And so rugby players have very similar disgusting training to the military in terms of the way they do their suicides training. They have to have fartlek training. They have to be strong enough to take tackles. They have to have the skill set. They are multitude.
Or even talking props. Well, I guess Johnny Wilkinson was fly half, wasn't he? So
yeah, if anything, he's definitely
he technically should be the fit. No, I agree. I'm going to go 3. I am actually going to put him under Usain Bolt. I'm going to put him under Usain Bolt.
You have to.
I will. I think he can't go above him for me. Okay. So John Cena, we've got John Cena again.
John Cena's come up 3 times.
Simone Biles.
Who's that?
Gymnast. The American gymnast, very young.
It's gonna have to be a 4 because that's all I've got left.
No, you got one more. You put Johnny Wilkinson at 1.
Yeah.
You did. Usain Bolt at 3.
Gymnasts are not 2. Wait.
No, I wouldn't put gymnast. I'll put gymnast at 4. So I'd go.
Depends who comes next. I'll give him 4. He has to have take
So
four.
at the minute yours is John Cena, Simone Biles,
Johnny Wilkinson. Well, Johnny Wilkinson's number 1.
Johnny Wilkins. You've got Usain Bolt at 3, so you've just got 2 left.
I've got 1 left.
You've got number 2 left.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Ready? Last one. Cristiano Ronaldo. This is where it flies in. Lewis Hamilton.
Ooh, that actually is 2. To be fair, that is a 2.
Oh, fucked it.
Yeah, you have.
Oh, Lewis Hamilton is not the ultimate athlete. What have I done? I'm putting Lewis Hamilton above Usain Bolt.
Yeah, well done. But hey, Formula 1 drivers are actual athletes, though. Let's be real.
They are.
Not like they. What is it? The what's the famous race? 24-hour.
Yeah, the Le Mans. Yeah.
Le Mans 24-hour race. The endurance for that.
Yeah, but when we're talking
Insane.
about strength, speed, endurance,
strength.
power, yeah, they're strong.
Because the forces of the car, they have to be able to counteract
Have you
it.
seen their training when they sit in the car and they have to like fight against the wheel when
Yeah,
they're
they're
pulling
fighting
backwards
against
and forwards?
G-forces, and you see their whole face like doing that as they're doing it.
Cardiovascularly though, they're fit, but I don't think they're not beating Usain Bolt. Should be able, I've cocked that number 1.
Usain Bolt is definitely not higher.
No, and I put even.
I'm sorry, guys. Just you can write us in the comments, but Johnny Wilkinson is higher than Usain Bolt.
So who did we have there? We had
Usain Bolt runs.
Usain Bolt, Johnny Wilkinson, John Cena, Simone Biles, and then Lewis
I'll tell
Hamilton.
you what, Usain Bolt is a runner, sprinter, endurance, does that stuff as well. So there's a multitude of things there. Johnny Wilkinson runs, sprints, tackles, strength of it. He can kick the ball. He has the strategy. He's a captain. He's got all this. He's got so much more to think about and do. He's the ultimate.
God damn it. I was really hoping for like a Michael Jordan or Ronaldo there. I genuinely was. I was so hoping for a Ronaldo or Michael Jordan. Gutted. Anyway.
Ronaldo, what do you think?
Oh, he is the ultimate athlete in my opinion. He is. I think he is. The power, the strength, everything that he puts in.
He's missing the strength element a little bit though.
I don't know.
Compared to some sports.
Yeah, some sport. I mean, you can always compare, can't you? But I do think Ronaldo's up there as one of the most ultimate athletes out there, just from general kind of fitness. But that is the podcast today, guys. Thank you very much for liking, following, subscribing. And we've seen you feet people out there. You come back again. So make sure that you lock in, share about the podcast to as many people as humanly possible, and we will catch you guys later.
Shut.